2.5 years ago, I went to a therapist who did art therapy. And so this person told me that if you have a kind of compulsive or addictive personality, you're always going to have something to chase, something to do. So this is important to you, because if you are struggling with NoFap, or if you are somebody who feels like NoFap is the right thing for me, you probably also have like kind of an addictive personality. And that's actually an amazing thing, because you're able to do things that other people just simply can't, because you have the traits to follow through, to do extreme stuff. The problem is you also have the trait to completely ruin your life if you're not guiding yourself, and if you are not guided by the proper, parents and stuff like that. And obviously with porn, it's like your parents can be the best parents in the world, but especially with our generation, it's like it was almost unknown that everybody as a kid was basically exposed to porn. And so the parents couldn't really do much about it. So if you have this type of personality, this addictive type of personality, you always need to have an outlet, something to do, something to maybe grind on, something to fiddle with, depending on what exactly your thing is. And so when I stopped watching porn and when I quit, I also quit esports, which was my thing, because I realized it wasn't actually my purpose. It was also such a time commitment that it wasn't worth the reward that was at the end of the stick that I was chasing, basically. So I found my thing with business, with building stuff. You might have a completely different thing. For example, riding a motorbike, that could be something that's also similar because it gives you the thrill. Or becoming a surgeon, because you're literally playing with someone's life to save them. Obviously, it's for a good thing. You see, like it's for a good thing. Like riding a motorbike isn't a bad thing. Building a successful business that helps people is also not a bad thing. These are all positive things that you can channel your energy into, your whole being into, and just literally make the world a significantly better place than other people who may not have this type of addictive or extreme personality, where they are able to chase stuff like that, and where they are able to, watch porn the whole day or whatever. They might not be able to do it because they just simply aren't that way. They aren't made that way. Everyone's different a little bit, and they are very different to the average porn user. And that's the sad story. Like, those who are actually bogged down with porn are usually trying to self-medicate, to avoid facing, like confronting the reality of, okay, my life sucks because it's boring, because I'm not doing anything exciting that gives me that good feeling, that dopamine boost. I'm not riding bikes, I'm not doing surgery, I'm not building a business, I'm working like a 9 to 5, and it's boring and it's bland, but I have to do it. And so therefore you kind of you could escape into porn, or it could be just, since childhood, like in my case as well, Yeah, this is what we go through coaching as well. Like, we slowly unveil like what's going on and why the porn persists. Once you lift the veil of porn and as the brain fog starts going away, reality can be hard, man. Like, and you have to face that shit, because you have to fight it in order to make it better. You can't just expect it to be better just by quitting porn. That's not how it works. You get your superpowers, and with those superpowers, now you can fix your life. And it takes a long time, and it feels fucking amazing once you take the first steps and you actually start doing stuff that you actually want. But as I said, it takes time, and without quitting porn, you don't have the powers, because porn is literally taking away your power. You're giving your power to porn to not have to deal with the problems in your life, because multiple people came up with the same idea. It's not like just one guy invented NoFap and then it's NoFap and everything is NoFap. It's like, no, obviously people knew about this before. NoFap started in like 2008 or 9, but like other people also noticed how porn was affecting them, before that, because high-speed internet was around in 2002, 2003. I remember my dad had like a high-speed internet subscription when I was a little kid. We could just watch videos in like 2004. I could play online games before that even. So at that point, online pornography was already a thing. So people could observe like the side effects of just watching porn the whole day, like, oh, that's great, I bought this internet thing and now I have unlimited pleasure. And you do that for like a couple of years and then you start to realize, hey, maybe that coin of infinite pleasure has another side, which is lethargy and stagnation. So yeah, as this happened, as porn came to be, also NoFap was born just a couple of years later, because there needed to be like a couple of years before people start to realize there are actually some side effects to watching porn. And so yeah, I absolutely love the idea of superpowers and the timeline as well. I think I did a timeline post on the Instagram in 2021 when I started. It was pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had someone who had made like a full guide or had a channel that was following NoFap, but at a much higher level. But unfortunately, my main source of information was the NoFap Reddit. And so once I started looking into like porn addiction, I did find some doctors that were dealing with porn addiction, but it was also like, while I learned a lot from them, I didn't resonate with them, because it wasn't like this fun, masculine self-improvement group where it's like, all right, let's do this, guys. And it's not really about like holistic healing, and it's more like a masculine challenge, where you can actually go hard and and achieve stuff and talk about it. But the NoFap Reddit wasn't that, because instead of achieving good streaks and completing the 90-day streaks, they were failing. Like 90% of the posts on the Reddit was people asking for help. Yeah, and I think it still is something like that. Like if you check the new posts on the Reddit forum, and it's tragic, to be honest. So that needs to change, and I'm planning on changing that as well. You remember when NoFap had a clear purpose, when counting the days wasn't a useless task that actually made recovery worse? I remember when I started NoFap, there was a thing called the 90-day challenge. And it was just about, get through a 90-day streak. And then that's it. There wasn't like any more complications to it. It was just, don't watch porn, don't masturbate for 90 days. And there was like a monk mode, which is like also don't have sex for 90 days. So no porn, no masturbation, no sex. But it's like, I don't know at what point everybody just kind of tuned out this 90-day challenge. I guess it's because the people who started the challenge realized how fucking important it was to not watch porn. But yeah, so at some point, the ranking system or the streak system became just like a random thing that exists. Okay, let's do a streak. And there is no end to a streak. You could do a 10,000-day streak and it wouldn't be, there wouldn't be an end to it. You could do it infinitely. But originally there was a goal with NoFap, which was actually very achievable. And I applaud that. I think we either bring back the 90-day streaks or we change the way we count the days, because what we're doing is completely toxic. Like we are making it harder to quit porn for ourselves, because every time we relapse, it's day zero. And I have actually stopped doing this because I just stopped counting the days. Like literally, I had to look at what was the time I quit porn for good, because I didn't know what day I was on. Like, who cares? Just don't count the fucking days. Yeah. But obviously, disclaimer, like I'm not on 1180 something day streak. I did watch porn in the previous 1000 something days, like 7 times maybe. I quit porn, and sure, I had my difficulties, but look at it this way: if I didn't have my difficulties, I wouldn't have the experience to help you. I've been thinking about how can we make the system of tracking better, because the problem with a system that isn't like completely extremely hard is that it's easy to cheat, and I don't want it to be easy to cheat. I want it to be simple but hard to cheat. So this system of taking away one day when you peek or edge or watch porn, it's like, I think it's easy, but I don't know how hard would it be. I think it would also be easy to cheat. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I actually need you guys' help. I noticed that I'm getting a little bit more viewers now. I think I got like a few comments, and if you have some ideas on how to make it hard for your brain to make excuses and try to cheat the system, but also keep the system easy without making it completely toxic for your recovery, meaning like it resets every time you watch porn, which is unrealistic. Because I remember in my first relapse, I watched porn after. I remember that my first streak was 292 days, and I watched porn, and I went in the bathroom and I looked in the mirror. And I remember before I started NoFap, I was like this skinny guy, like extremely, extremely skinny. And the first time I relapsed, I looked in the mirror after like 292 days, and I was completely changed. Like, I had some muscle, I had some facial hair, like I looked significantly better. I looked like someone who is not like a complete like failure in life, basically, who hasn't seen the sun in like 5 or 6 years. I know I'm white right now, but you should have seen me back then. And yeah, it didn't really affect me. I think I watched porn like 3 or 4 times in that short period of like relapsing. But after that, my next streak was also like, I actually don't remember, it was triple digits. And so there isn't like a big tax when you just watch porn after like, let's say, a triple digit streak. But if you start to continually watch porn, yeah, that can fuck you up. If you watch porn like, let's say, for a month or 2 months, you can start to develop the neural pathways again, start to make them stronger, that make you desire porn when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling stressed out, anxious, overwhelmed, etc. That's when the real relapse happens. After like, let's say, 15 times you watch porn, 10 times you watch porn, it's like the longer the amount that you watch porn for, the more the damage is in your streak. Yes, I hope I get some feedback on this, guys, because yeah, it's very interesting. I've been trying to take some time and think about it, but honestly, I'm not counting the days. But I know it's fun to compete, so I want to count the days as well. Also, I'm making the course, so I don't really have too much time to think about this.